Healing dreams. I have quite a few stories in my book of I had had chronic neck pain for 6 years, and I had blamed being rear-ended in a car accident. And it was so bad, I would come home early in the day just in tears, I can't believe I'll have to live this way the rest of my life. And I had a dream come through. True story, Benjamin. I went home. I was in tears. I was in such pain. I laid down and I said, why the fuck does my neck hurt so bad? And I barely got the words out of my mouth. And this profound dream comes through of a monk in a red robe and his head shaved is pacing back and forth outside my house. And again, in the early days, I'm like, how the heck? I felt like it was trying to tell me something about my neck, but I didn't get it. And in that dream forum I was a part of, Brew Joy was the fellow that founded and started it. And he goes, John, that has everything to do with why your neck hurts. I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get it. And so slowly he tried to show me, he goes, you have this spiritual side, this monk side, this selfless service side, and you're complete denial of it. And you are one of those people that has resistance in your neck. And it actually is true. And he goes, I want you to open to the possibility that there's more to you than what you think there is. And honestly, it took 2 years. And then came like the final culminating dream where it's 2 years later. And in the dream, I'm sitting in my office and I have a large golden thumbtack in my hand. It's like 4 inches long, big 2-inch head on it. And I reach around and just stick it in a bulletin board behind me, but it feels strange. And as I turn around, poking it right into the heart of this Buddhist monk. And he's smiling at me with such love. I realized my neck didn't hurt anymore. So it's just been like a lifelong journey to realize that when I start to resist things, it gets held in my neck. And dreams have helped me heal a lot of things too. So I wrote down dreams can be healing.
Yeah.
Want to keep going?
Well, I've got.
Do you want me to take a breath?
Well, no, I'm fascinated by the whole thing, and it's great to be getting all this perspective from you. So I've had several thoughts. I probably should have been writing them down because I'm not going to remember them all. But first thing came to mind, or maybe work backwards. Not for last thing, most recently came to mind. The idea of having a psychological or spiritual experience that's manifesting itself in physical pain. That reminds me of the basic concept of psychosomatic pain, which a lot of people misunderstand in the terms of, oh, it's not real. Well, it's not. It might feel. What does real mean? The pain is really there. People really feel psychosomatic pains, but they are more caused by inner conflict psychologically than, say, you may have the sensation of a cramp, and the cramp is there, but it's not being caused by physical, buildup of lactic acid, or you slept wrong or something like that. It might actually be something, you're struggling with something so intensely. And for you, very interesting symbolism there too, with the neck, the idea of letting maybe the heart chakra up into the head in a way. I'm not an expert on that kind of stuff, but if there's a blockage there, there's this tensing of don't let it into my consciousness. You would maybe develop a neck pain that's symbolic of that resistance. But I don't know if that's how it was explained to you.
Well, yeah. And again, everything makes sense looking backwards, right? But when you're in it, it doesn't always make sense, And I forgot I left one little dream out. There was a dream where this gentleman, Brew Joy, who created the dream forum, and he was a really popular spiritual teacher years ago. And in the dream, he's coming towards me. He's going to heal my neck. And he puts his hand out like, energy healer. And I'm like, oh, thank God, And right when he goes to put his hand on my neck, this angry old man who lives in my neck says, get the fuck away. And so it was like there was the visual of the tension and this curmudgeonly old man, like, I'm not letting this stuff in. So it's still been a journey to this day of opening and not letting myself resist things mentally. That's not always a conscious process. You know what I mean? It's, and my wife and I have talked about, some people carry tension in the belly, some in the head. I tend to, if I'm resisting something, I get the sore neck. And now I'm onto it.
For sure. Yeah. And you're actually, so another thought I had during this whole listening to you was, I am reading Historical dream literature available on Amazon in the description, all that good stuff. But most of these guys are fascinated by dreams and wrote their books because they have dreams. And they're like, what does this mean? And they did their own reading and research. They did their own philosophical exploration, talked to other doctors, philosophers, and whatnot. And they put most of them very heavily, not heavily necessarily, because a lot of them contains a lot of information, but they rely on their own experiences of dreams for examples and to say, and especially with the categorization of different types of dreams. So it's very interesting. You found your own categorizational system in the same way they did, by just looking at their own dreams and saying, these seem to be of this type. These seem to be of this type. And they just describe it. You write a book and, who knows, 200 years from now, someone may be resurrecting your historical dream literature to republish at a future time as an exemplar of someone who did the work of examining themselves. Also reminds me of, what was it, book 6, Studies in Dreams by Mary Arnold Forster. She wrote that whole book basically about her experience with lucid dreaming and being able to fly in dreams and pull herself out, either to awaken from bad dreams or change the nature of her dreams, going, I know this is a dream. I'm going to fly away because I can. And she did. And she taught, this is her own self-report. So a lot of the books I'm going through, it's historical analysis within the book itself, and going back to the Greeks and Romans and whatnot. Many of them cover a lot of the same material, but a lot of their own fascination comes from their own experience. So you're carrying on this grand tradition of authors writing about their own dream experiences. Yeah.